first time we met?
Yes, I do remember that.
Okay. March 1999 at a mutual friend, Shane Moody's house. So I was dating Ricky. And, you know, breaking in, if you will, to Haywood County is pretty tough. It was definitely tough in the 90s. And I moved here, I didn't know very many people. I started dating Ricky, and
it was hard to fit in around here, like, because it's a small town, you know, like, I remember that.
And I was a Marasco.
Like, hard to
No
fit in.
Marascos in Haywood County.
Should we start over, because you're not supposed to talk? Okay. Sorry.
And Joretta welcomed me with open arms. She didn't make me feel like an outsider. You took me in. We started hanging out. It was the first time I actually felt like I belonged in Haywood County.
I remember that. I remember meeting you, and it was hard to fit in. It was, you know, when you come from somewhere else, I mean, I can see that because everybody here, it's a small town, and I grew up here, and everybody already kind of has their cliques and their little friend groups. They have their little book clubs, and they have their Bunko groups, and they have their, you know, their friends they've already established. And so at that time, yeah, it is hard, and our kids are small, and you're already hanging out with the same people that have their friends.
And all of you guys all went to high school together.
Yes, right.
So
with Ricky, your husband.
I found
now Ricky.
myself,
Yes.
correct. And I found myself in a group of, hey, remember when? Stories. And I didn't remember when because I wasn't there. And you always made it a point to turn the conversation to remember now.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
let's do this now.
Yeah, let's start new memories.
Yes.
Because you need to be included. It's hard. I
Yes.
mean, and I knew that. And I remember the first time when I met you, we went home that night, and he's like, gosh, she's so quiet. And little did I know, she was so much like me. So the next time we met, we had a few drinks, and of course, I realized you were just like me.
Not so quiet.
Not so quiet. So it was hard, and I do remember that, and I do remember feeling, and it's something I always try to remember is making people feel included, because that is so hard, you know, and you're so good about that too. You're so compassionate too, and I think coming in and remembering that, you're so good about that when people are new here.
Absolutely.
You always go out of your way to make people feel at home, and I think that with the job that you have and your business that you have, you're in contact with so many people, and that's something so good for you and that you're so good at, you know, because you're so welcoming and as soon as I met you, and I remember thinking, she's so quiet, she's too quiet for Ricky, but no, we realized real soon that our husbands couldn't stand to be around us very much. They went out with us for a little while, and then they decided
They were like,
y'all are all
go.
on your own.
Y'all go.
Y'all like drive us crazy because we tend to like start talking and they can't even hear and get a word in. So yeah,
But thank you.
well you're
Thank
welcome.
you for
Cheers.
welcoming me to
Yes,
Haywood County.
and I have loved you ever since.
I love
We
you.
had an instant connection,
Mhm.
and there's nothing like that because you know I feel like when we get together, even though we don't see each other all the time, because your life is so busy and my life is so busy, and I think the older we get, it just, even though you know kids get grown and things change, it's just you're just busy. You know, your life changes.
You know,
and-
something I have learned, particularly from our friendship, is friendship isn't necessarily about seeing each other every day.
Right.
Because we go months sometimes.
Oh yeah, totally.
Maybe a text,
Yeah.
but
Without like seeing or spending quality time together.
when I need to call the most dependable person in my life, it's you.
Yep, and I feel exactly the same way. I mean, if I struggle with something, I know, and I know who to call, and you're the
If
only
I need to
one.
laugh,
Yes, if you need to laugh, you always
there's
tell me.
nobody funnier than Joe Reddy. So.
We
But
always
ever
have a good
in my
time.
life. Always.
We always laugh, and that's the good thing about a relationship. Is I always know if I want to laugh and I need cheering up, that I can call you and hear your voice, and you we'd have all these sayings, and the first time we say stuff, I know I just start laughing. And I remember we were calling one, and I knew you were going to say something. You didn't have to tell me. I knew you were going to say it. And I look over and I see your face, and I run to the other side, and I can't even look at you because I'm like, she's going to say it. I can see your face because I can just read your face, and I know. And you're like, your lips go on, and you go. And I'm like, oh, here it comes. I gotta go. I can't even look because I know I'm gonna lose it. And I was over there before you even said it, crying, laughing before it even came out of your mouth. And then it came out of your mouth, and I was like, yep, there it is.
So speaking of Dollywood.
Oh God, yeah, I always pack way too much, I know, for a day.
So I have a tradition of bringing 2 of my nieces to Waynesville every summer since they were little girls, and they're mid-teens now. And my husband Rick and I have taken them to Dollywood every year. Well, this past year, Rick couldn't go. And who do I call? Of course, Joretta.
And who says yes right away?
And
I didn't care what was on my schedule.
I said, no, girls. Joretta's not like Aunt Michelle. She's not going to have on shorts and tennis shoes. When we pick her up, she is going to have high heel shoes on and makeup on. I picked Joretta up, and here she comes in her high heel shoes.
And a bag packed for a week, for a day. I had everybody's stuff in there. I'm like, here, y'all need anything?
Honey, we're going to Dollywood.
Do y'all need to change? Right? Do you have new body spray? Did you have earrings and lipstick? I'm like, listen, if you don't have earrings on, you're naked. So, and you don't have lipstick on, you gotta put some on.
Extra jewelry, extra
Oh yeah, like
body
here, you gotta be
spray.
looking good everywhere you go.
You did change into those tennis shoes, though.
I did because I thought, well, the girls are keep looking at me, so I was like, okay, I did bring them because I thought, well, all right, I'll try.
You can't ride a roller
It was
coaster with high
hard.
heels.
Well, yes, you can. You do anything in high heels. Remember that time I made you wear them?
Oh, God.
I
Because
made you
couldn't
wear
walk
them.
in
You
them.
couldn't walk and you fell. I'm like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, get these on. And you're like, we were going out. We were going to Laurel Ridge.
Ridge.
We were going to some function.
We were going to
And we were dressed up, and you had on heels, but they just, to me, weren't high enough
No.
and dressy enough. So I went out and got some that had glitter and crap all over them. And I'm like, here, I dove in my closet, and I'm throwing stuff out, remember? And I'm like, here, and you're like, oh my God, not those. I'm like, here's some. And you're like, are you kidding me? And you had just enough, a couple of drinks just to wear them. I'm like, it'll be fine. And remember, you were trying to go down the steps and you fell, you went sideways.
Honey, I think I took them off 30 minutes after
I'm
I
like,
got
you
there.
have got to. I was like, you can just sit down tonight, but you're gonna look good. But you're gonna look good sitting there. Just don't get up and walk.
With
Just don't
the high
dance.
heels.
You can't do anything, but you're gonna look good. And we
Okay,
cried
so
laughing.
I have to tell this story.
You can tell it. Jacob's story.
Joretta's son Jacob was 3 years old. We were at their lake house together, our 2 families, and we were talking to the neighbor, right?
And remember, I'll tell you that in a minute. But
Yes.
one last one for different.
We were talking to the neighbor. Michael was Joretta's husband, was telling a story to the neighbor, and Jacob looked up at them
And we had your boys with us. We're all on the porch.
yes, and
Take it
said,
out.
"Why, Daddy, you're just a damn liar."
You're a damn liar. And I went,
And-
and he had never said a bad word. And like he was like
Never.
3. And I was
this
like,
was what, 20 years
and this
ago?
is like my shy little kid. And I'm like,
15 years ago.
But
How
you know,
old is he now? 20?
he'll be 21 in
Okay.
June. So he was 30. So he was
To
barely
this
30. He was
day.
barely talking. And we were like, just damn. And,
And
of course
we-
we cried
we
and we thought it's
thought
hilarious.
it
Well,
was
you're a
funny.
damn liar.
Michael was mortified.
But you know why? Because the neighbor cussed. Remember the colonel? We called him the colonel. And
Right.
every breath he cussed. And so my son, remember Jacob always looked up to him and thought he was so cool because he had that cigar all the time. He was always had a glass of liquor in his hand. And little did we know he was a damn pervert. But anyway, so we're going to
What is it? 17 years later, Joretta and I can see them across the grocery store. Hey, damn liar!
I'll call her up and I'm like, hey, damn liar, what you doing? So damn liar is our word now. And I don't even know, we think it's hysterical. And the guys hate it. They're like,
You
okay.
guys are like, it's
That's not
that
even
funny.
funny anymore. That was like, 18 years ago. Like y'all are like so high school. and we are sometimes, and that's what's so fun though. It's because we can be, and we don't judge each other. You know, we just laugh and have fun, and it's non-judgmental. And yeah, so the damn liar thing. So I'll call like today when I walked in your office, I'm like, where are you, damn liar?
Chris just kind of looked over like, what?
And so that came from the Colonel next door. And remember, Michael and Ricky, we were there by ourselves one weekend. We were having a girls' weekend, and the Colonel who remember this, they didn't serve alcohol in Florida. And so you and I, we didn't have anything in there, but my mother-in-law had some like cheap wine or something, and we're like, we need to fix us a drink. Well, we went over there knocking on the door, and I was like, well, I know he has liquor. He has liquor. He always has liquor. And so we knocked on the door, and of course, immediately he answered it. I'm sure he had been looking through a peephole somewhere. We're like, hey, do you have any liquor? What kind y'all need? So he brings up jugs, not like, you know, this. Remember these big jugs of like George Dickel and just nasty stuff that we would, and then tequila. Remember he bought the I'm like, what about like tequila or something? He goes, I got that. He goes, here, he has a jug. Y'all drink this, and I'll come over later and we'll have an orgy. Remember, he was like 80. He was like 80, and we went,
damn liar.
okay, we'll call you later, bye. He slammed the door in his face.
Took the liquor,
and slammed the door in his face. Oh my God. The next day we didn't come out, we were scaring him, but that's the one, the Colonel, and he was like 80 then because he died like, yeah, he was, yeah, I had that big cigar, but yeah. But what I love about a relationship is like that. It's non-judgmental. We can laugh and tell these stories, and nobody else thinks it's funny. And we get on our husband's nerves.
It's okay.
And it's okay because we just love each other so much. And when we get together, it's just love and fun. And there's just such a deep connection there. And there always has been since the first time I met you. And I'm gonna try not to cry. But I just know when I have a sense, you know, and then I know, like you said, we can go and I'll talk for a while, or I might shoot a text here and there, and I'll say, how you doing, or I'll have you on my mind, and we run in different circles. We have different friends, and that's okay, though, because at the end of the day, I know who I'm going to call because you're my Thelma, and I know that when I call you, that you're the only one that has my phone code to my phone. Like, nobody else has the code to my phone to get in it. Nobody but you. Because and not that I'm hiding anything, it's just that I have a lot of information there for business and personal things and pictures that are precious to me and things like that. So I always say I wanted somebody to know my code, so I've always given it to you, and you're the only one that has it, and you're the one that I guess I would call if I was in jail and be like, God, don't tell anybody. But guess where I am, you know, and we've done that sometimes. We'll call each other and say, oh, don't tell anybody, you know, and we know that we don't have to tell anybody. We know that you're not going to tell anybody, and, you know, I'm not going to tell anybody. And there's a lot of things we'll get our grave with, and that's just really a true friendship, and there's just not, you don't have many of those. And my mom always said, you know, you'll have friends, a lot of friends, and you'll have a lot of acquaintances. You can count them all on one hand.
My mom said the same thing.
And you know, you'll never have more than that. And so I found that so true, and I found that with us. You know, there's such a deep connection there. And when you feel, and it's weird because I know that when you feel, I get these feelings, and like when your dad was sick and you called me that time, and we had not talked in like 3 months.
And you knew something.
And I knew something as soon, and I was at work, I was working at the courthouse, and I saw my phone ringing, and I knew, I had this feeling, I have to answer this. So I just stopped what I was doing, and the same goes for you. I mean, we just have this connection, and I think that
we get these intuitions.
Yes, we get these intuitions, and just with everything that's gone on with you, and
honestly, yes, on a serious note, when we lost God, you were the first one in my house.
Yep. And I knew, and the weird thing about that is I had not talked to you in a while, but you had told me, you had confided in me about things a couple of years ago, and
you were
I was the only one that you had right.
You were the only one, and I'll just say, when Clay, my son, struggled with drug addiction, I told nobody but you.
Right.
Because it's, and I'm working on this with local organizations now, but there's such a stigma. And how do you say? Somebody says, how's Clay? When your son grows up and he's a baseball star, a college graduate, right? College educated, owns a home, well loved, and then in his adult years.
And he was always the grown up. He was always. A lot of people would just fold up and die, and it would be so easy to do
I thought I
when
was
you
going
lose
to
a
the
kid.
first
And
few months.
I kind of feel like, I told my husband, I was like, I don't even know how you get up and get going, but you found a way, but you also grieved through it too, which I do commend that. And everybody has to deal with things in their own way. People can't tell you, oh, you're going to go through this, you're going to go through this stage, you're going to go through that stage. Well, everybody's different, and you have to do what's best for you. So if you wake up and you need to lay in bed all day, and I know that you've told me there's times you had to do it, I'm like, oh, good, lay in bed all day. If that's what you feel like you got up and you felt like you need to do today, then that's what you need to do. You need to listen to your body, and don't listen to everybody else, and don't feel like you have to be a martyr, because God knows, I don't even know how. I don't even know how I would deal with that. Nobody knows how they would deal with things. But I'm in awe of you, because I see, just like when we were at the Smoky Mountain News thing the other night, how you were able, I sat there and watched, and I just think about life's so short, and for you to do this, and you went up to someone who you have had a lot of hard feelings toward, and for good reason, and you asked them if you could speak to them. Of course, I look at Ricky and I'm like, oh God, should I call the sheriff's department or something? But I'm like, oh, should I go over there to stand? And he goes, oh, hold on a minute.
Such a peacemaker.
See, neither one of us knew you were going to do it. You had not said a word, so even your husband didn't even know. But you went over to that person and you forgave them right there on the spot. And you did that for Clay.
And I asked her to forgive me for
And you did.
carrying this grudge all
You
these
did,
years.
and that took so much, but what I learned from that is life is too short, and I think coming from Clay's death, you've learned that, life is too short, and he would, as you said he wants everybody to get along, he always wanted everybody to get along, he was such a peacemaker, and so for
And he had a
you've really
servant's
taken
heart.
that, he did have a servant's heart, and you have taken that, and you have been able to forgive and move on, and you don't have to speak to that person ever again, but you were able to let go, and that is such, I'm in such awe of that, because I wish so many times I could do that, but it's a learning thing.
The
But I
biggest
do
thing
learn.
I want to do is help other people
Right,
and
because that's
help
what you
families.
do. Yep,
Because Clay had a servant's heart.
yep,
And if I can help one mom,
yep, not go through what you did, absolutely, I agree, 100%.
not go through it.
Exactly. I absolutely agree with that. If there's one person, that means everything, and that you've been able to get in these groups that have lost children, and I know that takes a lot of courage, I think, to go to these things and listen to that and relive it, and then you just lost, another one of your friends that you grew up with, who was like a best friend to you too, and she just lost her son in a tragic accident. You had to relive that, her losing her son, and you had to relive the whole feelings you had with Clay, and that was just very recently, and I just thought about you every day, and I was like, how do you do that? How do you do that? And so I know God gives you strength to do things, and I know that you're,
But God also gives you the right people.
and He does,
And
and good friends, and
you know what? Laughter helps. so
laughter
much.
is great medicine. I say that all the time.
And
You've got to laugh a little bit.
there were
with
times that, since Clay passed, that I would tell Ricky, I need me some Doretta.
Give me some
I
Doretta.
need me some Doretta because I need to laugh.
Yeah, yeah.
I need to laugh, and
And
when I need to get my laugh on,
yeah, yeah, exactly.
I call me some Doretta.
Exactly, and we do, and I know that's the best medicine. It really is.
Always, for everything.
And to be able to still do that is good. And I just, and like I said, I'm in awe of you and how you have such strength. And you've always been that kind of person I've looked up to, even when I started, Julie and I were talking about starting our business. And you're the first person I called and I came to, and you're my first write-off. You're my first person I got to write off.
Did you bought lunch?
I bought your lunch. I've got that. I saved my receipt, my first write-off, and it was with you. And the whole, and you're the first person I thought of as far as business sense. I got to talk to Michelle about this because you're
And you guys have done so great.
Right, and thank you. But you know what? You're such a good entrepreneur, and I said that. The first thing that came to mind is like you have such a good sense of that, and just and your strength and your ability and to run a business and just keep going and doing the things, and you're always giving. And every Christmas you do your toy drive. You've always done it. You've always done for others, and I think that is such a good legacy for Clay, because, like you said, he had such a servant's heart, and to carry that on, and now you can do everything in memory of him, and that's even better. And it's just your strength is amazing, and I feed off of it. And when we're together, I feed off of it. And I just think when I think of a strong woman, I think of you. And when I think of somebody I look up to, I think of you. Because I do look up to you. And I always have. And like I said, when the time I started business, you're the first person that popped in my mind, because I do look up to you so much.
And you guys have done so well. I'm so proud of you.
Well, thank you. And so have you. And I just think that there's so much more to come. And like I said,
I'll always be Thelma.
And I'll always be Louise. And there's so much more that we have to give.
Many more years.
Many more years to give.